Hello everyone. My name is Dr. Princy Gupta, Assistant Professor from Apex University. We are here today to have a virtual signing ceremony between Lithan and Apex University, Jaipur. I would like to invite all the participants from Apex University and Lithan to witness the signing ceremony today. Firstly, I will introduce all the representatives from both the parties and then I will go through the program schedule for today. Joining us today from the Apex University, we have Honorable Vice Chancellor, President Professor O.P. Changani, Dr. Pankaj Sharma, Registrar of Apex University, and Dr. Yuvraj, Deputy Registrar of Apex University. Joining us today from Lithan, we have the founder and the CEO, Mr. Leslie Lowe, Managing Director, Mr. Joel Shaw, Director of Learning Management, Mr. Srikant Godavari Raman, Regional Business Lead, Mr. Antony Roy, and the Head of Business Operation, Mr. Paxton, as well as the other attendees who are here to observe the event. For the flow of today's signing ceremony, we will first have a speech from Mr. Leslie, followed by Honorable President Professor O.P. Changani. We will then ask Mr. Leslie Lowe and Dr. Pankaj Sharma, sir, Registrar of Apex University, to sign the Memorandum of Agreement. Then finally, we will have a group picture. So now I will hand over my time to Mr. Leslie Lowe to give us his opening address. Sir, please.
Yes, thank you. Good morning to you. Is it morning?
Yes, sir. Morning.
Yeah, okay, still morning, couple of hours ahead. Yeah, really appreciate the opportunity to partner your esteemed university in this momentous agreement to support to develop and incubate what we call local talent, talent that global yet local. Perhaps the story go back way back 4 5 years ago, to when Lithan wanted to transform our institute. Um, about 4 5 years ago, the Singapore government invited me to actually develop a digital transformation plan for the country. Essentially, the Singapore government felt that um, the age of the digital age is here, and learning need to be different. And clearly, the Coursera's, the international e-learning businesses would impact the way learning is going to happen. And I was invited to be a co-chair to develop this transformation plan. So after a year, the committee came up with a plan, and Lithan, possibly the first in Singapore, that take that prescription and started our own transformation to deliver a solution that we believe not just able to deliver knowledge, skill, but more importantly, perhaps career outcome for individual, and then business outcome for enterprises that we will be serving. So Lithan, we came up with this learn the product called CLaaS, CLaaS. A CLaaS aimed to develop future-ready local talent for the digital economy. Our graduates are exposed to an applied learning journey in a borderless setting where they get inducted into a digital career 12 months after they join our program and 3 years before they graduate. CLaaS is aligned around a competency-based curriculum for delivering job-specific skill and competency required by the industry. More than just delivering personalized learning journey using technology, we adopt 70-20-10 work-based learning pedagogy to deliver improved KSA, knowledge, skill, and ability. Our learners progress from knowledge acquisition in the classroom to workplace skill utilization that deliver tangible career outcome. Since the pandemic, we launched EduClass to deliver a converged futures of learning and work. The EduClass platform, it connects higher education students, working adult, enterprises, employers industry expert, technology vendor, and higher education institution like yourself for scalable and collaborative digital talent incubation and, more importantly, deployment across Asia. As a borderless learning platform, we incubate digital talent in partnership with university like yourself. It's more than just a learning platform. It's actually as much a talent platform. We connect learners with international employers, particularly those from Singapore, to deliver a borderless work-to-learn journey so as to enable seamless career induction and on-the-job training before a learner graduate from their program. We look forward to your esteemed university joining our other learning alliances across Asia so as to deliver the development of this talent with immersion opportunity across Asia so as to deliver talent ready for the new digital economy. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leslie. I now invite Honorable President Professor Dr. O.P. Changani to give his speech. Sir.
Sir, you're on mute.
I invite our Honorable President Professor Dr. O.P. Changani to give his speech.
Yeah, good morning in India, my team of Apex University, Jaipur, and good afternoon, Lithan team at Singapore. Now, this is regarding the MoU which we are going to sign. We are basically a very young university. We came in 2018 by an enactment of a law in the local legislative council, and we started in 2018. So in terms of the life, we are quite young, and being young, we are not having, the rigid boundaries and limitations, because we can innovate, we can have new things in our entire curriculum design and teaching learning process. One very important thing happened during the course of our development in 2020, when a new education policy was released by the government of India. The new education policy is going to bring radical changes in the way we teach and learn in this country. Some of the features which are very important, I would just like to share with you. The new education policy is trying to move away from the very rigid boundaries and silos of different disciplines which we were following in this country. It is going to be more liberal now, and the emphasis is to have holistic education, creativity in the education, inclusiveness in the education, and beyond that, we want our students to develop overall cognitive capabilities so that they can have creativity and innovation in their lifelong contribution in the country. Now, there are certain other things which are happening in the new education policy, which I would like to share with my Lithan team also. One thing is, multiple entry and exit system. In multiple entry and exit system, a student can enter in the let us say for a bachelor program, and in first year, if he decides to drop out, he can be given a diploma degree. And after completing 3 years, he can be given the bachelor degree. So we have to make our program in such a way that first year is part of the certificate program, second year is part of the diploma program, and third year, when he completes, he get the degree. So this is what we are expecting in the new education policy. One more thing is happening in the new education policy, and that is academic bank of credit. Now, academic bank of credit is a new phenomenon in this country, wherein in a given time frame, let us say 6 years or 8 years, you decide to cover your entire course by opting different subjects from different universities, and you accumulate credits for those courses. And when you complete the entire curriculum of a bachelor program and you accumulate the corresponding credits, the degree can be awarded to you. So these two things are becoming very important, and in a coming time, they will change the entire scenario. Well, teaching learning process is one thing, teaching is also one thing, but assessment is very, very important. How we are assessing our student. Uh, I just heard once Eric Mazur, and he said that assessment is a silent killer of learning. If we do not have proper assessment, we kill the learning abilities of our student. I was listening to Mr. Nestle Low, and he was talking about the competencies. Now, when you are talking about learning outcomes, competencies are very important. And then performance indicators are also equally important, that how you are going to measure the learning outcomes through competencies and performance indicator. So you have to give more focus on how you are measuring the learning outcomes and whether learning outcomes are achieved or not. That need to be ensured. Well, as I said, in the new education program, new education policy, we have many, many innovative ways of doing it, and possibilities and opportunity to change ourselves and impart skill to our student. Finally, at the end of the day, skill is more important than a degree, because that skill will provide you the job and not the degree. So with this collaboration, we look forward to have a very good skill development in our student, and finally their placement, so that they remain happy and they earn a lot. Thank you very much.
Thank you. If I may say a few words in response to what you have just shared.
Yeah,
Actually, we are quite excited about um, hearing about the India, the education transformation. And hearing what you are saying, actually, it provides a lot of flexibility in terms of how we can
yeah,
configure the learning journey that able to support that type of outcome that the system allow. Certainly, I love to be able to have another session with you to learn more
yeah.
and certainly understand the way the education is structured. So some of the things that you said is we have built them into our learning journey. There are a couple of areas that you have just talked about. One is you need actually more than just perhaps the technical skill. You actually need that 21st century competency, such as that
Yeah,
soft skill, communication. These are very important skill that the future job would require. And so we have tried to build that in. And those are a skill actually you can only really learn in outside the classroom, right?
yeah,
And
yeah.
we wanted to make sure that that happened at the second, third, and fourth year when they are in the market. The second part that we
Okay.
thought is really very important as well is the journey itself, right? You talk about credential because I think the journey have to have interoperable credentials supporting it. So what we do on our part, we essentially front load skill first, right? That's why you see our program is that during the first year, essentially we just want to make sure within the
Mhm.
first year they get enough skill to be work ready on the 13 months. So the first 12 months is very compact. It's really a lot of skill. But having said that, skill has its
Okay.
merit, but academic knowledge also has its value because that allowed transferable knowledge,
Yeah.
and that we felt that they should again learn in the flows of work when they are in the industry, because it's about having that knowledge that able to better utilize those skills and therefore making that transferable. So the other aspect that would be very exciting, in fact, we are working on that, and that's also the reason why we are bringing in more than just in that ecosystem, a single university, but actually a consortium of university across Asia. In fact, we are also we are in the process of bringing in more some global university into the consortium. The general idea is this, right? A student can be spending a couple of years in India. Perhaps in the final year, they really want to be immersed in Malaysia or in UK, right? When they do that, we want them to have the opportunity not just to pick up another credential, so they will be able to get a sort of a dual degree thing. And we are making sure that this university who come into our ecosystem would therefore first recognize the first 1, 2, and 3 years content. Yeah. So we are working on that so that essentially the learning journey is not going to be just in one country, and they can actually during this period could be, I could spend my first year in India, maybe I want to spend 3 months in Bali, right? Then after that, I want to go to Singapore for 3 months and sit in our Singapore campus, so that they can have that local immersion and to build up that kind of network that individual is having. Because ultimately our goal is that this talent not just digitally or technically ready, locally ready, they should also be global ready. So to be global ready, there are two core skills that is really important. It's collaborative skill and ability to work in a cross-cultural environment. And it's best that they can be immersive in some of those learning. So that's why we use a word in work to learn journey with international immersion, right? So the immersion is actually some of it can be physical, right? Depending on the student. And so through this journey, we actually deliver that global yet local digital talent. And even the deployment, we see that as they can continue to be in their local country, they can be deployed by an employer from Singapore. That's why that employer ecosystem is really important to be part of that learning journey. Thank you very much.
Okay. Yeah, thanks. World is very small.
Yes.
And it is becoming global now. Yeah.
Yes, yes. Particularly after the pandemic, right? Because the workplace now is hybrid. And in fact, the campus now would become hybrid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, fine.
I now invite Mr. Leslie Lowe and Dr. Pankaj Sharma to sign the MoA. Initials on every page and signature on page 12.
I'm Dr. Pankaj Sharma. On behalf of Apex University, Jaipur, I'm putting my signature on this MoU and agreement. I'm very happy to put my signature, and I congratulate all the team of Lithan, CLaaS, and Apex University, Jaipur.
I'll be taking the photos now. Can you please, Mr. Pankaj Sharma, can you please hold up the MoA again a little bit closer?
Yes, I have put my signature. Is it open of bonding?
I was about to take the pictures. Can you please hold up the MOA again? Thank you.
Yes, Pansy ma'am.
Can you hold
Next.
the MOA again for the pictures?
Okay. जी मैडम वापस आप
A little bit lower, the MOA. Yep. Okay. Okay. 1, 2, and 3. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Wait,
Now we
तालियां.
will take a photo. Everybody, please smile. We are going to take a group photo. Thank you so much. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Stay safe, everybody.
Same to you, sir.
Yeah, thank you. In Singapore, we have about that. I think it's like a third wave in Singapore. Although the population now is 81% vaccinated, fully vaccinated, and the number has been in the last 1-2 months at about maybe 10-20 cases a day, but it has gone up to, I think yesterday were 800 cases. Yeah. So despite 81% of the population has been vaccinated, but the Singapore government is basically saying that it's going into what you call the endemic phase, where you treat it like a flu, right?
Yeah.
But strict measure, like for example, office, we are not going back to the office yet. Actually, we are still not encouraged to go back to the office. If we go to the office, we cannot have more than 5 people actually in a group, that sort of thing. So I think the government is watch and see, because the measurement now is actually about hospitalization, the percentage of hospitalization. It looked like the real risk is actually those 60 years old and above. In fact, the one that get into serious illness, pretty much 90% is actually 60 years old and above. So anyway, so even you have 81%, it's not home safe. Still a lot of work to do.
Yeah, I think we are better off here in India. We're almost 80% of our populations got vaccinated.
Okay. So,
But still, I would like to welcome you all in the university campus at Jaipur, in India.
yes. We look
Yeah,
forward to it.
I would like to welcome you all in our campus.
Yes,
So you
we
all
look
are
forward
invited
to it
here.
once this is over, hopefully.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Changani, about the press release that we discussed yesterday in your local newspapers, if you can look into this.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all. Thank you
sir.
all.
Thank you.